My name is Mia Bird. I'm born and raised in South Philly all my life. And FDR Park, what it means to me. It was it was natural beauty before I knew what natural beauty was. It was access. It was fun in the summer. It was summer camp. It was people getting in trouble because they were going places they weren't supposed to be. Um, but it was the closest thing to the outside world, living in the projects across the street from Passion, in Passion Projects. So it was our getaway from the young.
That's on this side, right?
That
No, that
side. Yep, corner
it,
pocket
yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
Yep. I learned to play pool over there on Oregon Avenue too.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh nice. All right, so I mean, you already lead it up into it. What are some of your personal experience with FDR Park? Do you have any specific childhood memories here that come to mind?
I do. And it's funny because I lived kind of a cloistered life, even living in the projects. My mom didn't let me get out a whole lot, so I had to sneak out with my friends. So I remember riding my bike over here plenty of times when I had no business with my ass over here. But I remember just going to the pool way back in the corner. And I always thought it was crazy because it was the only pool I ever knew in the city that I went to that felt like it was in a corner pocket, like it was just like tucked away. But I remember picnics. I remember just being here and seeing people living life in a park. I remember this being the snack pavilion. I remember drinking orange soda here. I used to love orange soda and hot dogs right here. That's what we knew it as, the snack pavilion.
Nice.
Yep. And all the campers, whenever you went to camp in South Philly, at some point, somewhere on your itinerary for the summer, you had to come to the lakes. It didn't matter what it was, but we looked forward to either orange soda or the hugs. Remember hugs? Grape, blueberry, fruit punch. Yeah, young boys. That's what y'all called them. Okay. Well, we had hugs back in the day, so we used to come here. But yeah, and I remember a lot of the guys used to get in trouble with the golf course because they weren't supposed to be over there. So I just remember, I remember being constantly, my friends being chased off the golf course. And I remember the people who used to be like the lifeguards over by at the swimming pool. I just remember it was always white people, and I just remember the looks on their faces reminded me of the looks on the faces of the nuns of the Catholic school that I went to, St. Charles. Like they just didn't want to be there around most of those black kids. They just didn't look happy. Their faces looked just like the nuns. I just remember seeing the white people at the pool looking miserable having to be there because they were usually the only white people. White kids, Italian kids went there, but it was like when the black people were there, it's like, let's keep the kids away from them. Yep.
The energy was different.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
All right, stop speeding because this is a great job.
Thank you. It's funny because since I moved back to South Philly, maybe about 6 years ago, I moved away for a little bit, for a few years, and came back. And I had neglected the park like everybody else because it had been neglected, and it had been treated like an afterthought until they started changing the communities. So it became important again to me. I think one of the triggering events for me was the flower show, because I really had no reason to come back this way. I mean, I've been to the Swedish Museum a few times before. This guy that I knew, whose people were from Sweden, he took me on a private tour in there. That was the only time I had ever been in that tour,
really?
in that museum. All these years, that place has been here forever. And it was like there and not there, because it had always been there from the time I lived in Passyunk until this very day, but I never had a reason to go. And then
was it like a symbol of something, or was it a reason, like a specific
as far as
reason?
why?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was for the white people.
Oh, I got you.
That was just, I didn't know it was a museum of that, of that nature. I actually thought it was like a private museum. Growing up as a kid, I just thought that, okay, that is somewhere private, like the golf course. It just seemed like restricted access. Just like the golf course was, it just didn't seem like it was open to us. So the flower show is what brought the significance back to me. And I did a couple things here. I've done nature hikes with, I think it was with Audubon or maybe Sierra Club.
Okay. Through this part?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's through after they cleared the golf course, they did some exploration of this land. So like for me, it's just so crazy because I have culturally, FDR Park, it's black to me. It's a black park. And we were always here. And I remember seeing us picnicking in the park, church picnics, swimming in the park. Black men used to be down here fishing in the park. So, that was the significance when I was younger. But now, just getting more involved in our community and just the representation. And then, because even understanding, because I was really into the environment. I was going to get into environmental law when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
I did, but I did a lot of volunteering in environmental groups. But I came to understand that this land is very rich ecologically. A lot of migratory birds and just different systems here. There's marshes, just our proximity to the rivers. So there's a lot of beauty and a lot to be developed here. I mean, so for me, it's black and preserving the black space and black faces in this space here, but it's also how the land has been neglected and how we can remedy that and not turn it into just some people space, but respect the land that's been living here and somehow live in harmony with it. Areas for bird watching, keeping the land, just clean and not polluting it with a bunch of shit.
Gotcha.
Per usual.
Thank you. That was a great answer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, so now you just answer any other customs or practices that you expected or were routine for you at this park that you can remember?
Right. It's it's just real funny because when you're young and you're exploring, getting to know boys as a young girl. There's not many places because when we grew up, you wouldn't do all this hugging and kissing and public displays of affection. You do some PDA, you get your feelings hurt, and somebody would tell your mama. So a lot of times, we would come out here to get to know each other a little bit more, maybe hold hands. I remember kissing a few boys over there near the gazebo because it's like an area where you kind of walk down and you can't see your head from the top. And so when you sit down there, if you kiss somebody down there, like nobody in the world, it feels like, can see you over there. Nobody. And recently, actually, even when I was like, maybe about 5 years ago, I was like reliving my childhood, I feel like, because I kissed a guy over there. Because I was like, I feel like my childhood is coming up again. But that's what we did.
It's very nostalgic then, even just walking through here. That gazebo is beautiful.
It is, but it's a lot of places and spaces for young people to, just have some privacy.
And be safe.
Yeah, and be safe. That's right.
Okay, so now, as far as community organizing, were you a part of any grassroots movements or like the Sierra Club? Mention that again if you want. Any type of groups that utilize this space in FDR Park?
Let me think. More churches than anything for picnics, like church picnics, because that happens a lot. Oh yeah, like so.
That's new to me.
So what's the church over here?
I didn't realize that the churches utilize the space as well.
What's the name of the one that uses it every year? It's my cousin's church. I go to her church. Oh God, City Life.
City Life Church. Oh, that's
right over there.
On 20th, right?
Right up, yep, right on 20th.
Yeah,
Yep.
wedding there.
And you went to a wedding there, and every year they would have their. I don't know. I'm trying to think because they were up until COVID every year.
Okay.
That's where the park, the church picnic was.
So COVID, you think COVID changed a lot for the park?
Oh my God! You can just see with the overgrowth. You can just see with the overgrowth. It was already a neglected space, and then when the flower show came, it helped to give the space a purpose. Obviously, because they were developing the neighborhoods, that's another reason why that they're developing the park. But during COVID, you could, like when I came back, I was like, since when was all of this here? Like you could just see the overgrowth. You could see the extreme neglect because nobody was doing, Parks and Rec weren't out here. A lot of the groundskeeping weren't here because of the pandemic.
Now, while you were, I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, while you were growing up, was it visible to see people keeping the grounds and making sure that the park was okay? Like, what organization was it? Was it the Fairmount Park Commission? Was it another organization? Like, who was in charge of upkeep and maintaining the park for the community?
I know that it had to be someone because this was a clean park. And I remember seeing city vehicles, guys, not like the what is it, Ready, Willing, and Able or something like that. Not like those guys back then didn't exist. It was mostly the city that would clean that I remember seeing. But somebody had to be doing it because this was a clean park. And people back when I was growing up, like, they cleaned up after themselves. This park wasn't trashy.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah.
All right, speed. I'll start off with developments of FDR Park. Kind of, do you think?
For sure.
Ready? Go.
It's really funny because development is a funny word because it's like what's being developed, who's it being developed for. So I remember when I was with the last group of people who lived in Pashung, and so we were moved out because PHA, shots fired intentionally, name them. They were moving out the people in Pashunk, saying that there was contaminated groundwater because of the oil refineries. They were giving us all these different excuses as to why they were moving, and we had to move out. They were giving everybody Section 8 vouchers to live in different places of the city, but they were giving them vouchers. But ironically, before we moved out, they built this new facility, this like state-of-the-art community center, and we knew it wasn't for us. And that was what stayed there for the new development over there. And it's just so ironic because I took a stroll through what used to be Pashung Projects, and now they're the condos or whatever they call them, townhouses or whatever over there, and to see these townhouses with the names from the projects from when we were there. So they kept a lot of the street names. So I saw Bonsall, I saw Bucknell, I saw it was just so funny. But like the development of the park, it just bothers me because when I did look and learn about the history of why FDR Park even became a park, it was because of development of neighborhoods in South Philly that they even developed this park. And the only reason why there's this resurgence of this park, the only reason why there's a resurgence of development of this park is the same reason again, is because of is the resurgence of the development of the new neighborhoods and what is going on, because that's dictating the interest and the care for this park again, because there's so much potential here, and it's necessary for not just with the development, what's happening with it, but that Black people, Black developers, and not just Black, but because we're shut out so much, that we are represented, not just Italians, and not just people who have connections to people in the city, but like grounds root people who care for the land, that they have a say in the development, because development in the mouth of a person who's just bottom line business and about making money, it's not about caring for the land, it's about how much profit I'm going to get after I change the look of this place. But development for someone who is coming from a place of, like, let's just say a farmer, someone who's like an urban farmer, like Sankofa, or somebody who is like I said, from Sierra Club, doing walking tours, or someone from Audubon Society who is preserving a part of the land for the birds. Development for them means something completely different. It's more about preservation than it is, clearing the land and building up. That's too much of what we've seen around here. So.
Great answer, Speed.
It's funny because living in South Philly, in close proximity to Center City, you see a lot of skateboarders in different pockets of the city. And even though I'm not a skateboarder at all, I do not represent that community in any way. But I feel welcomed by that community because a lot of the places and spaces I go, whether it's like along the Delaware, like the bike trail over there, near the Schuylkill River, and different pockets in the city where you see skateboarders. Like even going back there, it's kind of what people would consider sketchy because it's like, I mean, it's under 95 and it's dark.
I just took him there for the first time.
Yeah.
He was like, what's this?
Yeah, it's a whole community back there. It's a whole
is.
thing. Now, I don't know if it's still active because of the city, because of this whole initiative. It seems like skateboarders are under attack. And again, I am not of that community. I'm not speaking for them, but I see how they are being targeted. And a lot of their spaces, like they're being gentrified in terms of getting moved out of places and spaces. So, but I love how I've been received whenever I've hung out back there. And, you know, just watching them. And I love, because this is just my observation. It felt like I saw more black skateboarders back there than I had in the city.
Just seen a group back there.
Yeah, because in some places, you know, there's the separation of black and white.
Yeah.
Right. And they seem to get along better than most communities in terms of, you know, the black-white race, black, yellow, red, white issue. But it's all love, it seems like, back there. But like between the skateboarders, and then like I said, this guy who's a Quaker that I knew, a white guy, whose family is Swedish, he was the one who took me into the Swedish Museum for the first time, and I walked around in there. It was after hours, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about Swedish culture, but also the fact that this has been here all my life and I never knew about it. No one took us on school trips there, and I went to school in South Philly. I went to camps in South Philly. No one talked about the American Swedish Museum to us. And I think it's just because it's like, why would you waste your time talking to young black children about Swedish culture? Like, they seem to share a lot of other things, but that seemed... Mm-hmm. I saw that. I was like, yo.
Yeah, they doing pictures.
Nice.
I do that too. All right, you can continue.
Yeah, but no, it just seemed like that was something that was kept away intentionally from us because it's no reason. It's a museum. Like, we knew about the other museums in the city, but it just wasn't something that us kids heard a lot about. Black kids heard a lot about growing up. So, you know, I learned a lot that I hadn't learned all my life.
Okay, now, challenges. What are some challenges you're facing? Well, no, this is probably not for you. An organizer to defend the land. That's not.
Yeah.
All right, so we're basically almost done. This is going to be the wrap up.
Okay.
Wrap up interview by thanking. He just sent me this, and I created some questions. Well, listen, Emerald was in the process of moving to Germantown,
nice.
and I hit him up earlier. I'm like, yo, what's up? I need some questions. So I created the template for them, and then he like went in and made some changes. So
right.
It's like, all right,
right.
All right,
but I will tell you this though, even with it, not necessarily because I do have an interest.
Speed, hold on, speed. Let me start recording.
I do have some interest. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this bird, this beautiful bird that's walking by, and I'm like, oh my God, what kind of what's his? Yeah, because he's not from around here. He ain't from around these parts. Yes, and you know he's probably just stopping through.
Shoulder pads.
Yes. But you know, it's funny because you know, living in the part of South Philly I live in, like, if you hear about certain groups like Sasna, and like just some community groups. I don't even know how involved Sasna is anymore. That's south of South Street Neighbors Association, but like I had not seen any neighborhood anything posted anywhere, and I feel like I'm on enough forums that something about what's been going on in FDR Park should have come my way or crossed my way. and just wanting more access because I am a resident and a neighbor in South Philly.
All right, continue, please.
Yes. No, but I would have liked to hear more on the grapevine about the things that are open, whether it's community forums or neighbors associations, roundtables, just whatever, because we have an interest.
Hold on. I won't be picking all this up.
Oh, okay.
If we pick it up, just speak a little louder.
Yeah, no worries. But just wanting to hear from the city, them connecting and getting the information out, just to open it up, to have more voice in what's happening here, and just to realize we can do whatever we want to do here together. Like we can do, there is no we can't, and there's so much land, there's plenty of space for everyone. So for the developers who want profit and who want to do things as it relates to business, there's space for them. There's space for people to grow, fruit, vegetables, plants, whatever. There's space for the flora and the fauna that's here. Like, I'm looking at these ducks on this pond, and it's like, what is their future? Like, what is going to happen to them because we've been living life, and COVID had us all on pause. We don't know the migratory patterns that might have changed or been developed as a result of it. Now we come and we develop the land, clear it all. And what does that do for the world around us? This South Philly, this North Philly, this, Pennsylvania, all of this world around us. And the thing that gets me is like, these trees know their roots, but we don't. And there's so much, there's just so much that we can create here and do here. And there's been so many people who've been disenfranchised and shut out. There's so many, there's so many unemployed people. There's so many young people who this place is waiting for them to utilize it, to meet so many needs. But no one's talking about it. And I don't hear how the community has a voice in what's going on. Like, I heard about the Anna C. Verna dedication for a playground, and I'm like, who's Anna C. Verna? Like, I'm not mad at her. God rest her soul if she's still with us, or whoever she is. But it's like, who is she? And we can dedicate more than the playground in this space to her. There are people who are community organizers from all cultures. People who've come here from different parts of the world who call South Philly their home. People who have been here all their life and who've been moved out of South Philly, who would like to talk about what it's been like here or what they would like to see here. And we don't have to let that die. He wants to be on camera. I'm telling you, he's not from around here. But that's what I'm saying. He wants a voice too in this. Like, that bird, he knows where he's supposed to be, and he's not afraid. He don't care about somebody taking pictures or dogs over there. He's like, I have a right to be here, and I don't care if my voice is louder or inconvenient or different from yours. I have a right to be here.
You sound like a bottle rocket.
Oh, he too. He does. And then you're just waiting for boom.
I know. I'm like, what a pop at? You just keep going off.
I know, he does sound like a bottle rocket.
That was perfect, man. Thank you so much.